Imagine the day that you could take an elevator into space. Are you afraid of heights? If so, you might have to sit this one out, or close your eyes for 5 hours while riding Arthur C. Clarke's space elevator. The space elevator, commonly known from Clarke's 1979 novel, The Fountains of Paradise, was only science fictional. However, some innovators want to make the dream a reality. Though Clarke likely got the idea from a Russian scientist by the name of Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, conceptualized of a potential celestial castle in space connected to the planet by a massive tower, or rather, cable. The idea became even more popularized again in postmodern culture when in 1975, Jerome Pearson actually published a technical article on the feasibility of such a venture. Clarke actually utilized Pearson's paper for references in his novel. According to a recent documentary titled Skyline, here's how the new technology will work. First off, a platform would need to be built somewhere on the equator, Ecuador, Indonesia, India. A counterweight position 62,000 miles above Earth would be positioned to keep the ultra-strong and lightweight carbon nanotube-based cable taut for the elevator car's long voyage into space. The economics of the scenario are actually quite encouraging. Some estimates suggest that even with costly rollers and magnetic levitation, the ascension into space would cost as little as 1% of the current cost of rocket launches. Also, experts hypothesize that the trip could take as little as 5 hours. Though a space elevator may seem a little far-fetched and science-fictional, it would definitely reduce the cost of space travel, and it could become a very profitable endeavor. Unfortunately, technology still needs to catch up to theory, as today's materials just aren't lightweight enough to fabricate the technology. So, does this mean no space elevator? Actually, things just might be starting to change. In 2014, researchers at Penn State University developed diamond nanothreads, which were tested in computer simulations, and the evidence suggests that they are much stronger than initially believed. In addition, research in carbon nanotubes, or CNTs, is also improving the technology further. That is, new advances in CNTs are published almost every month now, so the progress is promising. Bradley Edwards and Michael Laine are two American inventors who are trying to make the dream a reality. Edwards, a physicist with a background in astrophysics, and Laine, an entrepreneur involved in advanced CNT technology, have teamed up to launch one of the world's first startups. The pair had raised significant capital and made several demonstrations simulating their technology with hot air balloons, but it wasn't enough to attract investors. Eventually, they stopped the collaboration due to diminishing support and financial disagreements. However, Laine continues to work on his startup LiftPort, and he states that a lunar elevator is buildable now and is becoming more and more viable as the concept of mining the moon starts to attract investors. Laine's concern is that improvements with reusable rockets may renew interest in conventional space travel, reducing the feasibility of a space elevator. That is, the main lure of a space elevator is its cheap cost. Edwards is continuing to lecture on the possibilities and technology of a space elevator, and he too is concerned about the institutional support for the idea. Though researchers and innovators in the US have left the project, scientists in other parts of the world shoulder on. In Japan, the concept of the space elevator has become part of the national zeitgeist. Similar to the 1960s American dream of putting a man on the moon, Japan is endorsing the idea of a space elevator. This is the result of a prominent Japanese researcher and innovator named Sumio Lijima. Lijima's construction firm, Obayashi Company, develops complex carbon nanotubes and robotics, and the Obayashi Company plans on fabricating the first space elevator by the year 2050. Here's what Obayashi wants to do. Connected to a geostationary Earth orbit station, using carbon nanotube technology 22,000 miles above Earth. The Obayashi design utilizes a floating Earth port near the equator. Obayashi states that land is actually not critical for such a station. Ishikawa admits that much development still needs to take place in order to make the project possible. However, with the gradual improvements that the company has been sustaining, he believes the dream is becoming more and more of a reality. Obayashi recently completed Japan's tallest self-supported skyscraper, called the Tokyo Skytree, at a height of 634 meters. The Tokyo Skytree will be used in testing the connection of a carbon nanotube tether to 2 orbiting satellites in the near future. If the experiment is successful, it would be only a matter of adjusting its scale for a human space elevator, though factors such as Japan's position relative to the equator may also affect the experiment. So, why is it Japan of all countries that is holding on to this dream? Ishikawa suggests it's actually boosting national morale. He explains that in the past decade the Japanese economy has struggled a bit, and this has renewed people's national pride. Ishikawa also believes that the project would be much more successful if the venture became an international endeavor. However, he believes relative to the huge support amongst the Japanese people, Japan can definitely be a leader in its development. So the countdown starts. Will we have a space elevator by 2050 as the Obayashi Company plans? Will the launch pad be an island on the equator, or will it be from a skyscraper in New York? We'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching, everyone.